So we're talking about what is a BI and what is the use of the BI, business intelligence. So basically, it enables any non-technical users or business users to work with or to make their own reports and dashboards, which doesn't have any dependency on the IT team or any tech team. Okay. So and then as we're speaking that like there are different products in the market, and why should we why Power BI is leading, or why Power BI is making so much noise in the market. So typically, if you have to buy any product as an enterprise level or an individual level, if you have to buy any products, so what do we check? So basically, we check the product, the futures of the product. Okay, the ease of the product, how easy it can be used, and then the price. We compare the price, and then we go and buy the product from any e-commerce site, right? So similar way, if you see the Power BI, so it has made very simple, easy, and eliminated all the IT kind of a role. You don't need an architect. You don't need a data modeler. You don't need a data architect. You don't need an IT. You don't need an admin to manage this. Okay, so it has become so easy and cost effective. The price is very low compared to other BI tools in the industry today. And then because of this easiness and then simplicity, and it's simply simplified, so people are going towards to the Microsoft Power BI. So even the Gartner is an organization who evaluates the product every year, and then they have told the Microsoft is one of the leading product according to the Gartner. So they have done analysis based on all the different various features like accessibility, security, and then visualizations, the feedback from all the users of the Power BI. So considering all of these metrics, the Gartner organization has ranked Microsoft Power BI as one of the leaders. Okay, so and here is a comparison of many of the BI products. If I have to show a little bigger. So Power BI started in 2014, and you see that it's by within like a couple of years, it is already leading is as leaders in the market. Okay, so and it's free. Power BI desktop is a free where we can create all the visuals. We can link all to the data sources, and then we can share that Power BI desktop file with others. And there is a service which we'll talk about a little later. So for that, there is a price. So, but comparative to any of these BI products, so Power BI is very, very less in the price. Yeah. Okay. So as we see, the Power BI price. So we have a pro license, which is cost you $10 per month, and there is a premium, which is cost you $5 per month. Say for example, I have a report or a dashboard with only 5 users or 10 users. So then I go and choose my pro license, and then I pay $10 for each person. 10 into 5, $50. Say if your Power BI dashboard has like 200 users or 300 users, more users and more capacity, so then I choose the premium. Then what happens? The users doesn't need any license. Okay, so only the developer or the person who is going to publish the dashboard, they have to be this license. But all 100 users will not require the pro license. So this has more capacity. You can publish more reports, and then you can share within your organizations. So apart from these two, apart from these two products, even Power BI gives you the report server. So when I say Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, this comes as a software as a service. I mean, you have to. This is subscription based, and today we believe all the products that we use, even the phone, if we are using any app, it's all based on the software as a service. So you subscribe, and then it will install in your laptop or in your mobile, and whenever there is a uh, update or upgrades, it automatically does, right? So Power BI is one such product which comes with the Microsoft platform as a service. So you don't need to install anything, you don't need to configure anything, you don't need to update anything whenever there is a new release. Okay, and Power BI is also evolving every month. So there is a community where we can post the features that we don't see or we need it in there. Then we can go and put that into the Power BI community based on the votes, number of votes. Uh, Power BI will take it up as a development, and then they will release in the release calendar. So Power BI gets updated or getting new features every month. Okay, so that in Power BI is level, it's continuous learning. If today we have done some course and uh, uh, some learnings, but it is evolving. So every day, every month, you need to update. You have to update yourself. You have to check the community. You have to check the release, what new features has been given in the Power BI, and then make use of it. But every month when there is a new features, you don't need to uninstall, reinstall, nothing. It's automatically updates on your desktop or in your service. Okay. So as I said, this Pro and Premium license is required for the Power BI service. So Power BI desktop is free. So Power BI service is where we have to pay $10, and then if it is a premium, you have to pay a $5,000 per month. Okay. So apart from that, if you see that your data is very sensitive and it should not go outside of your organization, or you should it has to be in-house. It cannot be on a Microsoft cloud environment. Then there is something called a report server. Okay, a report server where you can uh, get that and install, configure in your organization, and then make use of it. But the challenge is that whenever the Power BI has a new feature, then your IT or admin has to set up that feature in your server, and then you can make use of it. Okay. So, yeah. So this is what the report server is. It's on premises, but Power BI service is a cloud. So when you develop a dashboard on Power BI desktop, then you are going to publish into the cloud, and this will be in the Microsoft cloud. Okay. So if you consider that your data or your report has some data, I mean, security policies where you have to do, you have to in-house in yourself, then you can go for the report server. Okay. So as we speak, this is that you have to, your release cycle is once every month. So this is a once in a month. So you may have to go update those features. So this requires an IT, a Power BI report server. This requires an IT for managing this server. But in the Power BI service, nothing. You don't need to have any IT, nothing. So you just develop a dashboard, publish into this, and then share. Okay. So in this course, we are going to discuss. I mean, we are going to talk about how to create a report or dashboard in the Power BI desktop, and do the data transformations, load Excel files, CSV files, text files, publish the surveys, and then share with the users. Okay. So earlier, if I have to take any legacy BI product like Microsoft SQL Server reporting services, or Tableau, or ClickView, or MicroStrategy, that you create a report, then you have to give it to admin to publish that report, and then he has to give access to users to share with it. Okay, so they need to create a user database separately. So today, Power BI service will just use your AD directory and just an email ID will give access to the reports. Okay. So moving on, I just did some comparisons between Tableau and the Power BI. So Power BI, you saw there is a desktop where you can use, which is free. You don't need to pay anything. And if you have to share that report in the service in the cloud environment, you have to pay $10. If your user base is very high, very big, then you go for a premium. Okay, but Tableau has $70. So it's a creator, and for just a minutes for developing the report in the Tableau itself, you need to pay $70. Okay, and then for Explorer you have to pay 35 and Viewer $12. Okay, so we don't have any of this cost in Power BI. So only the viewer has to pay $10 in Power BI. So this is on premise, and this is your this price is on premises public cloud, Tableau cloud, and this is if you are hosted in your enterprise. Okay, yeah. So as I was speaking in the beginning, so what does the Power BI? I mean, how Power BI will help individual users. So as I said, if you are learning Power BI and if you are able to create dashboards or reports on your own, so you are going to eliminate all of these rules, or you are going to become all of these roles. You will become a data wrangler where you can gather data, prepare meaningful data, organize, and data steward where you do a policies, creates mechanism to enforce the data policies. You develop a dashboard, interactive one, and then you can share with the users. So Power BI has eliminated all of these roles. So in legacy BI products, so if you have to do in MicroStrategy or any SAP business objects, if you have to create a report, so there will be a data architect who will design your data model, okay, and then there will be a BI person who will design the report, and there will be admin who will publish the report and he will share to the users. Okay, so the 3 to 4 roles will be eliminated by a Power BI. Okay. So when we talk about Power BI, as I said, it has the key components where is Power BI service. This is where the place where you publish your dashboards and then share with that. And Power Query is where you do the transformation of your data. And Power Pivot is an inbuilt. We may not see it in the Power BI desktop, but this you can see it in the Excel add-in. Okay, and Power View is your visualization. Okay, and there is a gateway. Gateway is basically when you are connecting to any of the SQL server or any server within your organization. Okay, and then you are publishing that dashboard to the service. So then you need a gateway, because service will not be able to understand the servers that in-house it was installed. So for this, we need to install a gateway and then create a connection so that Power BI service can use it. So how Power BI tool fit together? So you can see it from the data discovery. Power BI can become an ETL tool too. So it can extract data, it can transform data. So currently the legacy BI products or the existing systems, you need an SSIS, a SQL Server integration, or any ETL tool to load data from different sources, do the transformations. Okay, so that can be eliminated when you are using a Power BI. Okay, and then you can do a data modeling, you can do a relationships, you can do a calculations, you can create a custom columns, conditional columns, everything in the Power BI. So you can create a charts, you can create filters, this all can be done with one single tool called Power BI Desktop. Okay, and then you can publish that into the Power BI service and also to the Power BI mobile. Okay, so this is how the architecture of the Power BI has been designed. So consider this is your enterprise or this is the organization. Okay, and you have all the data sources sitting within your organization. It can be a database, It can be an analysis services cube, it can be a SharePoint list, can be a files, can be any other Oracle or any other data sources. Okay, so then if it is a file, Excel files or CSV files, you can just use the Power BI desktop. Okay, and then you create your dashboards and you can publish that into the cloud environment. Okay, if you have a SQL server or cube or any database kind of a work, then you need a gateway. Okay, so this is the gateway. Also you can configure yourself, but if there is once you install gateway on your system, it will become a server, and the server should be on all the time. Okay, if the server is down, so then the gateway will not work. So that is why what we do as at enterprise level, the gateway will be managed or given it to IT team, so that they install it in a server, and then they keep on and then they maintain it. So what we need to do is only we need to give what is the server name, or what is the cube name, and what is the how do we authenticate. So if you can give those details to the IT person of this or the person who is managing the gate, he will just create a connection and establish. Then you will be able to publish, and all your users can use the dashboards. So it's very simple, easy. It's not complicated. Okay, uh, so so that's why I mean most of the organizations going into the enterprise, so into the Power BI dashboards. Okay, so moving on. So I'll talk about. I'll show you how to install Power BI desktop and what are the components that we have it in. Okay, so usually we go and download Power BI desktop from here. Uh, so so if you download from here, uh, so it may, I mean, whenever there is a new features or new thing, it may not get updated. So we always suggest go to stores, Microsoft Store, and search for Power BI desktop here. So click here. Okay, so you can click launch here, or if you may get, or you will say install. So when you do install or launch, so your Power BI desktop will be launched. Okay, so one thing is for Power BI desktop, it's a free. It's free. You don't need to pay anything. Okay, so once you install, you launch, it will come like this. Okay, so this is Power BI desktop. So you can sign in if you have an organizational account. So you can just use that account. You can sign in. You cannot use your public Gmail account or any personal account. So you'll not be able to use it for the Power BI. So if you have an organizational account, it's a free. You can just sign in with using your organizational account into the Power BI desktop. Okay. So I'll show you before we go detail about Power BI desktop. I'll show you the Power BI service. So Power BI service is just you have to type app.powerbi.com. Okay, so you can sign in with your organization account. So as I said, it will not take any Gmail or mail or any account, any personal accounts. Okay. So this is the Power BI service. Okay. So usually we create a workspace here, and we create a folder. Workspace is like a folder, and you can publish dashboards here. Okay. So how do we check? To use reports from here is where we need a license. So how do we check what license we have? What is my do I have a free license, pro license kind of thing? So for that, you can go to settings here, You can say, just a second, go to settings. Yeah, go to settings on, you click on group storage. So click on the settings. You can see manage personal storage. So when you click on that, you can see here, you may see a free user here, and there will be a button saying that start your trial version for 60 days. Okay. So if you enable that, you can use the pro user for 60 days, so that you can publish dashboards and you can share with your organization within your with your team members or with your users. Okay. Sorry. See, I mean, this is the report that we created. I can see it in the online. Okay. See, this is an online, so no software is required, nothing. You just need to send this link to the user. But before sending this link, you may have to go and then share this report here. So you can see share here. You click a share button. You can just give an email ID. So it will show you the mails, and then you can just click on that email. So you will get an access to these dashboards. Okay. So this is the service, and somebody has, if someone is using this, so then they may need a pro license, which is a $10 per month. Okay. So we talked about the premium, right? So if you see, there are some folders with a diamond symbol here. Okay. So this folder, for this folder, we don't need any license. So user can directly access this. Okay. Only report the person who is developing and publishing it, he need a pro license, but the person who is just viewing these dashboards may not require any license. But this cost is, you see the diamond symbol here. So this premium license costs you $5,000 per month. Okay. So that's about the service. I will come back to the Power BI desktop. Okay. So in Power BI desktop, so we have a components like this is we call Power View or Report View. This is the data view, and this is the model view. This is where you can do the data modeling activities. Okay. And then on your right side, you can see all the field list. When you load data, you can see all the fields coming over here, and these are all visualizations. So there are around 30 default visualizations which Power BI is giving you. And in this session, we'll talk about how to use these visualizations, and like there are so if you have to do a comparisons, which chart you have to use, if you have to show ranks, or if you want to show a total count, so what visualizations you have to use. Okay, so we talk about all of that in this course, and we work on those, on each individual visuals, how to use it. Okay, and each visualization has a value. So and each visualization, the value format will change. Okay, so you see this, when I see this, I can get x-axis, y-axis. When I use this, I have only one. Okay, when I use slicer, only one. Okay, and each field has a different formatting options. Okay, so you can change your colors, you can change titles, you can make bold. I mean, all the formatting kind of things is there for each visualization. And these are the filter pane. Like if you are creating a dashboard or report, and you want to make sure there are filters applied like calendar or date, a physical month or region, country. Okay, so you can use it, and we have a different level of filters. One is at the visual level, only for this visual, or at the page level. If you do at page level, all the visuals in this page will get filtered. If you do it on all pages, then if you have a multiple pages, it will be filtered in all multiple pages. Okay. So, and something we see there is an edit queries. When you click on edit queries, this is the Power Query editor. Okay. So I think many of you, if you would have used Excel and if you have loaded any data into the Excel, you should be very familiar with this tool, query editor tool. Okay. So this is very similar what we do it in the Excel also. So I'll just show you that as an example. So you see there is a data, if you say from text file or CSV file. Okay, so when you load this, you will get a query connections here. Okay, so when you double click this, so you see there is a query editor. So this is very much same that we see it in the Power BI desktop also. So this is the, you see the icon here, Power BI query editor, and here you can see an Excel query editor. So if you are very familiar with this, I think this will become very easy. Or if you learn this, you can also play with the Excel query editor also. So you can load it in Excel and use this query editor for all the transformations. Okay. Coming back to Power BI desktop. So we talked about Power BI desktop. So we talked about the Power BI query editor, and we talk about the Power BI service. So Power BI service, you need a license of $10 to view the reports. Okay. So Power BI provides you a trial version for 60 days. So you can try, if you're doing this course, you can try that and then make use of it. Okay. So, and one thing is you should have an organizational account to access this. You cannot use any personal account. So Power BI desktop is a free version. Okay. And when you see edit queries here, this is where the Power Query editor comes in the picture. Okay. And these are the three main components of Power BI desktop that we extensively use in this course. We talk about all of this in this course. Okay. And you can see get data here. There are so many varieties of data sources. Okay. And this it is always keeps on evolving. Okay. So there are plenty. There are so many. So here in this course we may talk about the regular one like Excel, text files. If you have a multiple files in a folder, how do we load it? So even you can read data from the PDF. If there's a table formats, you can read from the PDF. You can use the SharePoint folders, the SQL Server. So it is categorized here. Okay, the file databases. You can see all different databases that is available. And Power BI platform, like say when you have created a Power BI report and published, it creates a data set. So even we can make use of those data sets to create another dashboards. And you have online services, SharePoint list, Exchange, so many others. Okay? And you see there is a beta version. So these are all trial going on. So once this has been approved, then this beta will be removed and it will become like a regular feature for this one. So as in the beginning, I said the Power BI desktop is also we installed through the store. Okay, so any updates happening to the desktop, it automatically comes and updates. But if you see that is not updating or it's not changed, so then you can go to the file. So there is something called options and settings. So in that you can see options here. Okay, and you can see there is a preview features. Okay, so you can enable this to see the change. So you just see what the ribbons here. So this will change when I use this update ribbon. Okay, so I'll click OK. So I just need to restart. I mean, I just need to open my desktop one more time. Okay, now you see the change here. Okay, so that's how you can go and change it. Okay, so if you see transform, earlier it was like edit queries here, now it has become a transform data. So if you go transform data here, you can see an artificial intelligence insights, text analytics. So where you can do like you can do a sentiment score analysis using this without any coding. Okay, so also you can do image classification here. So if you don't see this future here, okay, so once again you can go back to the file, options and settings, options, go to preview features. You see updated ribbon. I'll remove this, and you see AI insights function browser. If I remove this, it will go away. Okay, so I'll close this and open one more time. Okay, see the ribbon has got changed, and then in the new one it was told as transformation. Now it is edit queries. When I click edit queries, now I may not see the other part, which AI part. Okay, so for this we need to every time we need to go and check the Power BI community or BI release updates. Okay, or yeah, so this one. So we need to keep looking into this blogs so that you can see what is being updated. Okay, so I can talk about one more feature, like if you have a multiple pages. Okay, so if you have to navigate, if you have to create a button, okay, or if I say I want to uh, create a button and then say next page or something. Okay, so earlier we used to do some bookmarks, but now they have given a page. I mean, this was released the last month, so you can see an action here, and then you can see page navigation. Okay, you can say page 2 or page. If I have to click on page 1, so if I have to say page 2, so just say Control C, it will go to the page 2. So until last month, we used to do some bookmarks, some other workaround. So now we have a page navigation. So like this, the features will be added every month. So we need to just go and look into the community and then see what updates has been done of every month. Okay, and there will be a lot of seminars or a lot of uh, training given by Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, whenever there is a new feature. So they just go talk about it. They will conduct seminars, and then so we can join and then we can check them. It's all free. There is no price involved on that. Okay. So Coming back to the Power BI desktop, so this is the place, and it is very easy. You don't need, there is no zero, when it's zero coding. You don't need to do any coding. It's only you need to play with these tools. It's all drag and drop. It's only using mouse clicks. That's all. Okay. And if you think these visualizations is not enough, then there are, you can go to the marketplace and you can download the custom visuals. Okay. There are again many custom visuals. Uh, let's say word cloud. So just click add. So it will come in. This is a waterfall. Okay. And then there are filters, slices. So we have used custom tools. This is the word cloud. Okay. So it will say like if you have a customer 360 feedback or reviews or anything, and you want to see which one, which what words they've used frequently. So we can just use, though there is no coding, nothing. You just use this word cloud and then drag and drop the columns into it. So this is done. Okay. So I'll just show you how to load a simple data source in this and how it look like, because this is very plain. So let me show you how to load a data. Okay. So let's do Excel. I believe in many organizations, Excel is one which will be used very often. So okay, use the data Excel. So let me take a superstore. Okay. So superstore is a data set which is available in internet, which we can use this for this course. Okay, so this worksheet, a superstore worksheet, has three sheets: orders, okay, and then there is a product, okay, and then the start status of orders, whether it's a written status. These are all orders were written, and there is a manager by region. Okay, so if I and you see that when we load this data, automatically Power BI will do the relationship here. Okay, so if I have to say out of these orders, what is the return status? So usually what I do, I just go here, click a column, right? And then I do a lookup, VLOOKUP, and then go to order status, just say select this, right? So this is how I do it, right? I mean, to make it. So to do that, okay? So, but in Power BI, you don't need to do even these things. So let's see that, okay? Now you are just select manager. Okay. Okay. So just see there are some issues here. It's column one and column two is not coming as a region or a manager. There are some null values. So we'll just fix this once we load data. Okay. So order status is correct. Orders is correct. Product also, the product name and product category is not coming as an header. So we'll just fix that issues. Load.
Okay. So in the field list, you can see all the tables, all the sheets got loaded. So you can see the column names here. Okay. And if you want to see data of this manager, you just click on the data view. So you can see because of the null values, it's giving you blank. But if you select order status, okay, orders, then select, right? So you see products, you can see product. So you can see in the model view, the relationship happens. The manager and other two columns did not do because the column one did not come as an headers. Okay. So let me fix that. I'll just go to edit queries. So this is where all the transformations will be done. Okay. So click here the manager. Okay. So what I will do, I want to make region as my header. So I'll just use first person head. Okay. And I have to remove all the null rows. So I'll just say remove blank rows. Okay. So whenever I do an operation, it is recorded here. Okay. So anytime I can go back and remove this. So it is removed. Okay. So similarly, orders I can check, no issues. Orders, products. Okay, so here also I just use first person header. Okay, and there is that step has been recorded. So I'll just say close and apply. Now see it's again creating a relationship. It automatically created a relationships. Okay, so now I can just play with this data, right? So now I want to know what are all orders and then the status. So I can take order ID from orders and then use some table. And then take the status column and then drag it. See now the same that what we did the VLOOKUP in Excel. Now it's very easy to do it in Power BI, right? And even those transformations, it's very easy to do it. Okay. So this is how you can load multiple data sets. You can analyze data. You can create a new columns, measures, metric. You can see all the quick measures like running total. So if you want to do a running total or any max per category minimum, year to date, quarter to date, month to date, so it's all easy here. It's you just use this running total and then you just say sales. What is the base value? Say order date. Sorry, this will be sales, and you want to do a running total by order date. Okay. See, it has created a sales running total by order date. So it has created a DAX query. Okay. So we just need to take order date. And then take this. Okay. So now it's running total. It's cumulative now. So if you want to change the date formats, if you don't want this one, you just click here, go to modeling, you can change the formats here. See, so if you want to see sales, you can just compare how the sales is here. So see 1 plus 1, this is added here, 4. Okay, so now running total calculation is also just click of a button. You don't need to write any code. Okay, so I think we are at we are end of this session about introduction of Power BI. So I'll just revise what we talked today. So basically, what is a BI? Business intelligence. So business intelligence is where we are helping business to analyze the data, to visualize, to make some decision out of it. Okay, and it's a self-driven. It's a self-analytical platforms. And in the market, there are many products to do this kind of a BI. And we have chosen the Power BI because of its simple
easy to use, and it doesn't require any technical skills. Okay, and then the cost, compared to the cost, Power BI cost is very less compared to any other BI tools. Okay, and it is easy to install, and no IT, there is no need data architects or data engineers to do modeling to create for you. Okay, so business himself can just connect to the data sources, and then they can play with this. Okay, and then and then we talked about the license cost. License is basically uh, to use. I mean, if you this is a free. I mean, you can save this file, and then you can share this file to anybody. Okay, but later if you make any change, then again you have to save this file and give it to him. But instead, if you do any changes and you click a publish button here, so this will go into the service here, go into the service, and people can access reports this year. Any change that you make and publish there, immediately it will get there, and it will not affect any users. They just click it here, they can see the change. Okay, but if user has to use this from the service, then they have to pay. It's just $10 per month. And if you have too many users, like 500, 600 users, then you can go for a premium folder. Okay, so we talk about Power BI Desktop, which is a free, which you can install using stores. And we talked about Power BI Service and I mean, what is the costing and how do we check the cost. You can just go here and then see manage storage. Okay, and then we talk about the Power BI query editor. Okay, and these are the three things which we will be using majority in this course, and then we work on these three things: Power BI Desktop, Power Query Editor, and Power BI Service. Okay, and the end we'll do the data gateway installation, and then the DAX. DAX is a data analysis expressions, as you see, as we created, right? If you have to write some formulas like this, that is what we call DAX. So that's where I can show the course content. This is how we design. So like we talk about what is Power BI, why, what is the desktop, query editor, service, comparison, licensing. I think we have already touched all of these in today's session. And then we also add and connecting how to connect to a data source, and then we will work on different sources. Okay, and then how do we combine, merge, append. If so, for example, you create a dashboard and every month or every day or every week you get additional data, so how do we input that? Okay, so we'll talk about that. And then if you have added a new column, removed a column, how do we manage the relationships, and what is cardinality, like uh, if your relation between two data sets, it's one to one, one to many, many to many. Okay, if it is a many to many, you may have to apply a cross filter directions. Okay, and you are as I said, the model view. So working in this model view, so what all we can do in this model view. Okay, and sort by column. Okay, the modeling you can see is sort by column. Okay, so if you can see sort by column, how what is the use of this? Okay, so we talk about all of this, and this is the transformation where the Power Query Editor. There are so many, you can change data types. You can, if your data set has like 100 columns and you may not need all of those columns, you can choose columns. You can remove rows. You can reduce rows. Okay, you can split columns. I mean, if you have a text with comma, so you can just say split column by comma. It will create two columns. You can be a group by. You can transpose, pivot, unpivot. So a lot of transformations, which is this is in traditional reporting systems. All these transformations will done by an ETL tool, Talent or SSIS, or some other tool. But Power BI is giving you all this capability to do it. Okay, and then we talk about the visualizations. So what is the page layout? How to design these pages? How to view this page layout? Okay, and then introduction to visualizations. What all these visualizations? How do we use those visualizations? Custom visualizations, slices. What is the difference between a slicer and a filter? So this is a filter, and there is a slicer in the visualization also. So how do we do that? How do we interact with between the visualizations? Okay, how do we publish? How do we share? So what are the quick insights? Configuring dashboard, installing gateway. So row level security. For example, you have created dashboard sales where you want to give access to uh, America's
to only America sales, Europe only for Europe person. So if somebody, a salesperson from Europe logs into the dashboard, he can see only his data. So how do we manage the row level security? Okay, and this is where somebody needs some expertise of Excel formulas, right? Or if they know how to write Excel formulas, so this will become very easy for them. These DAX functions are very important because if you have to do like QOQ, YOY, so you may use this time intelligence functions to do that and calculate the percentage, year-over-year percentages, QOQ percentages, kind of a thing. Okay, so I think this course content is very exhaustive. I mean, it has detailed one, and for each one of them, we have an example to work with that, and we can. I mean, I can talk about the real time, or I can share my experiences, like when I have used all of this and what kind of problems I have solved in my real time in real projects. Okay, so with this, I would like to end this session, and I'm not sure if somebody has any questions or if I can take it up, or I can you can drop an email to